Guys, I don't know why. I seriously thought that Thanksgiving would not be that difficult or take that long because I got this nifty, thrifty Instapot. So I was under the impression that this would seriously take probably like 2, 3 hours. Wrong. I figured this would be a good time to break out my all-clad colander, which I got for a good sale. And these potatoes seem dirty, so I gave them a good old scrub. I like to use Castile soap since it's a little gentler. I really wanted to give you guys a super thorough analysis of all the exact measurements I used, but my brain is shutting down. I literally have not slept. I took my ADHD medicine a little late, and all of that work, my brain is just kind of shut down. So I did try to give a good visual description and show you guys like how much I'm pouring, and honestly sometimes it was just eyeballing it. Right now I'm cutting up 5 yams after I peeled them and then cutting them into smaller pieces. I'm going to rinse them one more time. This was low-key too much yams. Like, I got one extra than the recipe said just because I thought it'd be nice to have extra. First of all, I honestly wasn't loving the whole yams. I don't know. Sometimes they're really good. I just felt like no matter how much sweet stuff I add, it just wasn't getting to where I wanted it to be. Now, I did make a mistake, which I'll point out later, but maybe that affected the taste a little bit. Man, I even splurged on nutmeg. I had to buy cinnamon too. Like, this whole thing was like a completely last minute plan, like literally in the morning. Originally, I was just gonna make steak and mashed potatoes, and then when I was at the grocery store, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a whole Thanksgiving feast. And here's where I went wrong, guys. From what I was reading, you're not supposed to add like the heavy cream before. I mean, I think I've seen some other people do it, but I was reading it can maybe make it curdle or do some other stuff. So, I did learn my lesson by the time the green bean casserole came along, but I still made another mistake there. So, it's a learning process here. To be honest, for most of these recipes, I just looked up like best mashed potatoes Instapot recipe. So for this, I'm peeling 3 pounds of russet potatoes. I got the last bag of organic potatoes, and they're peeled. And I got the last bag of the French green beans and the last buttermilk. I was on a roll getting the last of the last today. I hated that I shopped today though. That was horrible. Not that you're horrible if you did it, but I just prefer not to. And now I emphasized, I learned my lesson to add the heavy cream after, and then I put them in another dish. I like to use glass because I'm a little bit of a crunchy person sometimes. I try to not be, because before it was a little bad for me, I was going too far with it, but I do feel like it makes sense when you're cooking and how like chemicals, so like with the Instapot too, like I would never use a crock pot that wasn't stainless steel because it's like you're heating things to such a high level and you're leaving it there for so long. So with that, I do personally try to use glass. Now, I heard using chicken broth, or I think beef broth too, really amps up your mashed potatoes. Um, Per usual, mashed potatoes were my favorite dish. I'm so happy these turned out okay at least. I think I also was reading that the seasoning should go after, but so yeah, I ended up adding it again later on, but yeah. This is really a process, guys. I'm a beginner cook, and I honestly thought the Instapot would be, doing a little more. I do really like that it took off, like, not having to boil. That was a huge plus. And yeah, I used a little masher to mash down the mashed potatoes. They were a little thick still, so I was kind of just trying to see what should I add to make them creamy. I heard sour cream was a secret ingredient, and honestly, like, I didn't put too much. Like, I saw some people do cream cheese too, and I think my stepmom made it like that. I haven't had it like that in a while, but I liked this like less tangy flavor. And then I re-added the spices, and I had oat milk, sadly. I think that also affected the taste of like possibly the yams. The mashed potatoes luckily were really good still, but yeah, hopefully the buttermilk helped still. I mean, Google said it was fine to use it as a substitute, but I just feel like it might have been better with whole milk. I also realized, like, learn from my mistake. Like, a good tip would definitely be to do a lot of prep the night before. It was very stressful. Like, each thing where I was trying to finish, I would have to, like, peel potatoes for a really long time, then peel yams, then cut this, then cut onions. It was a lot. So yeah, next time I'm gonna prep the day before. With the green beans, I noticed like it was really watery. I feel like maybe from them being frozen and in the Instapot, like the water came out. So I drained it and then added more of the mushroom soup. Now I did realize like this is where being crunchy bit me because I don't know, it said online that it wouldn't matter as much to not get the Campbell's one. So I was like, oh, well, like the progressive sounds like slightly healthier. I'll get that one. But I think it messed up the taste. I don't know. Maybe it's not their fault. I'm not sure. It did mention like there's a different taste. And I feel like, I don't know. It was just missing something. And the mess. Oh my God. I was overwhelmed. But yeah, so I tried to put the green beans back in the oven, and same with the yams to get a little more of a crisp texture. And finally, we're making it towards the end. So I reused the chicken broth I used for the potatoes, and I actually used it for the stuffing. Now, I was having a hard time getting the Instapot open, so I feel like they were in there a little too long. I think it said to leave it for like 5 minutes after the 1 minute. I should have shown it in the video though. I'll try to check back. And then now I can finally get started on the steak. So I thought about doing turkey, but you know, I just decided I would try steak. I was disappointed in the meat, unfortunately. I don't know. I feel like I've not been on my steak game lately. I've been doing the same things I usually do. I don't know. I feel like I should have got a ribeye or something. This was a porterhouse beef loin or something. I tried basting it and everything, got out the thermometer. I was trying to get it to a medium rare and it was a little higher than that already. So after being in the oven for like 27 minutes, I took it out. It was at a low heat. I think it was like 270. And then so I added garlic and butter and then I basted it, which I wasn't able to get on video because I was stressed when it got to that point. And then at that point, I had put all of the sides to heat up so they would be fresh. I also got a no-bake Jello cheesecake. Sadly, this came out tasting a little bit like yogurt almost. Like, it was good. I'm wondering if the cream cheese was maybe not the best add-on. I did see online it said that that would enhance the flavor, but I don't know. It made it maybe a little more tangy than I was looking for. And I also added evaporated milk. But anyways, you don't have to listen to my measurements on this because I messed it up a little bit. I mean, it tasted okay, but there's probably a better recipe. I got one of those Christmas trees where you just like you set up the pole and you just pull it right up and it has all the lights and the ornaments and you'll see it later here, but I was really impressed with that. Like that seriously took like 5 minutes to set up. I did it right before I started all of this. So it could be a little photo background. I thought this was a good day to put the tree up. I had kept the cheesecake in the fridge, but I think it did need some freezer time before I served it. Like now it's in the freezer, so I think I'm just gonna have to thaw it before I serve it, but hopefully that helps with the flavor also. Maybe adding cinnamon. I wanted to get whipped cream. I knew that that would be what was needed, but I didn't want to hop out of line because it was a crazy, hectic day at the grocery store. And this was the end result of the pie. As you can see by my hair, that was crazy. But thankfully, it's over finally. And the steak was heart-shaped. Oh my gosh. And now I know, add the heavy whipping cream after. And Voila! I did a little spread so you guys can see. I plated it. I wish I got a different drink. This wasn't the best for that, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I tried the pineapple, which I don't usually have. The orange is usually better, so. But anyways, I'll let you guys watch my spread.
The table set with love and care, a feast of moments that we all share.
And there we have it. We survived this crazy day. I definitely see why potlucks are a thing. But yeah, let me know your favorite sides. How were your Thanksgiving plans? I do have a confession. I eat ketchup with my steak. Hopefully y'all still subscribe. Love you.